on resources are limited. We're in the middle of a pandemic. The economy is already badly ravaged. There's China on the LAC. We need to buy light infantry tanks. We need artillery guns which can be taken up into the mountains. We're trying to integrate our armed forces. So there are multiple requirements when it comes to capital expenditure for the military, and now there is this very pressing requirement to bolster our drone defenses. How should we address this challenge? What should we do? Group Captain Augustine.
Thank you, Rahul, and sorry, I'm blind as a bat here. But coming to the answer to this question, I want to simplify it so that our viewers understand this much better. Look at it like a boxing bout. A boxer needs to have his punches as solid as his defense. So the offense-defense balance has to be has to be thought about on two counts. First and foremost is areas where we cannot afford anyone to go to. That is high-value target, including a mobile high-value target like a VVIP movement or an HNI. There we need to have our defenses, which should be layered. That means you should have one outside, at least one inside, through which, that is the final layer of defense, and outside that should be your offense. Now, this offense-defense balance is something Indian Air Force understands it much, much better, because they are looking at thousands of kilometers of defense. They are not like very short-focused as far as defense is concerned. Now, second, and the most important thing is that the source of this problem we know is Pakistan. Now, what do they understand loud and clear? They understand the surgical strike loud and clear, air strike loud and clear. Now, you also saw there was lasting peace on the border. Why? Because the reply was befitting and more. So if we don't, now we have established that it is not possible to, catch these kinds of drones, which in swarm can be as lethal, if not much more lethal than any other. So now that we have established that, how do we counter it is a question. The first and foremost is, like Group Captain Narang covered, have your informants and information network in place. That is the most important thing, Rahul, if I tell you. If what happened in Jammu, I would also play it as some kind of an intelligence failure. I mean, he could not have taken you by surprise, in the middle of the night, without he leaving some telltale information behind.
How? Let's war game this for a moment. I've taken up temporary establishment in one of the Juggi clusters. Now I have a house. I've smuggled my drone in a suitcase. You can't really tell. I'm sitting inside the house. I've set up a sophisticated screen which allows me to look outside without having to go outside. And I've moved the drone in. I've dropped my payload and I've brought it out. Where is the intelligence failure in this?
No, I'm not saying failure. No, I'm saying to pick up the telltale mark of intelligence. I'll tell you how. See, I've said this before. 95% of the drone, Rahul, is controlled by a radio control system in an ISM band. As simple as that. If we know that a 2.4 or a 5.8 gigahertz transmission is moving about, we know for sure that just by measuring the rate of change of movement, we will know that it is something which is mobile, which is agile, and which is moving very fast. That is as far as
but that threat is more potent if the drone's taken off from close to the airbase. If it's coming from far, so you have some reflex and response time. If it's just taken off from a few hundred meters away from the airbase, you hardly have any time to pick something up, something which is so small.
No, that is where the beauty of the transmission distance vis-a-vis the height measures. To put it very simply, 1.25 under root of height of the transmitter plus 1.25 under root of receiver gives you the range. If I were to break it down for our viewers' understanding, at 100 meters of altitude, what is the radio range? 185 kilometers. That means the moment the drone takes off, attains an altitude of 30 meters, you will get to measure that signal at least 50 to 60 kilometers away. So that is the beauty of a transmitted energy's penetration above the earth. That is Bhugol. You can't do anything about it. Even enemy can't do anything about it. Even if he wants to go silent, Rahul, but he has to take off in a controlled environment with two-way talking.
Okay.
And then once he set scores is the time that you will switch off, even if he is so
Group
sophisticated.
Captain Nara, given how